I bring you greetings from Bison Hill. It's wonderful to be with you once again in this third week of online instruction. And I've got to tell you some stories we've had in our engagement with alumni, because of course they haven't been able to come to campus. But as we've engaged some of our alumni, we've had great response from alumni who are wanting to invest in you, our students. And so we've had some incredible gifts from alumni to invest in you, our students. And then we've also had some wonderful student testimonies saying how they feel so cared for by our faculty. Some incredible innovation going on in terms of online education. Our faculty are using new facets of our online platform and just some incredible stories. So once again, thank you for your excellence in education, and students, thank you for your diligence in this very difficult time. And if I'm honest, even in this time, I found it difficult. And in the past week, I couldn't quite figure out what was going on. But when Jill and I talked about it, I just realized and came to the fact that I was just sad about that sense of loss, the hustle and bustle of all the students and all the faculty and all of our community on campus, the Geiger Center not bustling with activity. I was sad that we didn't see kind of the lifeblood of our campus, that is our students walking in and out of our buildings and out of our classrooms, and the athletics events not present on campus. So I was just processing all of that, and I just felt sad. And we were talking about that. It was a tough time for me, and Jill gave me some advice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, if you know Heath, you know that he doesn't always, he's not an external processor, let's say that.
Right.
So he doesn't always know how he feels. And sometimes I can't always figure it out, but I like to
probe.
Probe. And so I could tell something was wrong with him. And so we began to talk, and I kept trying to figure out what is wrong with you. And he has been working around the clock since all this began, and just working so hard to get everything up and running for online education, and working with everyone here at OBU, and everyone's been amazing, obviously, and in working together. And so we finally sat down, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? And we came down to the final conclusion was he was just sad. And we just determined that that's okay. And so Heath just needed time to grieve and to process his sadness for missing you guys. And we just took some time to be sad. And we also took some time to just walk the campus and pray, and just pray for you guys. Because again, I think in this time when we feel so helpless, the one thing that we can do is pray. And so that's one of the things that we've done.
Yep.
And so our kids have prayed for you guys on the steps of Rayleigh Chapel. And so I think we've grieved the loss of you guys being here, and then some events that we had planned for kind of kicking off the semester and kicking off us being here. And so one of the things that we had planned was I was supposed to do my first event today, Coffee and Connection, where I was going to sit down and kind of give my testimony and just tell you guys about some things that God had done in my life, and I'm going to bring in different speakers and just share some godly wisdom, just like we were having a cup of coffee together. And so today I was going to be sharing from Hebrews 6:19, which is a verse that God gave me many, many years ago when we were living in North Carolina, when I was really struggling with some things. And so the verse is, basically that He is the anchor of our soul. He is our sure and steadfast hope. And so God really challenged me to look at all the things that I had put as my hope, even though my words and my actions were saying that He was the anchor. Deep down, but just between me and God, He really wasn't my anchor. I was looking at all these external things, and if they didn't work out, then I wasn't okay. And so it's really interesting that I had chosen to speak about that again in a time
this semester.
Yeah, in a time where right now, so many of those
Yes.
things, our calendars, many of our social events, all those things that we put our hope in are taken away again. And so He brought that back long before this even came about. And so, again, I see God's hand, His faithfulness.
Yes.
And I can tell you that He is faithful. He is the anchor that holds. He is our one hope. And so I can't wait for us to all get back together next semester, for us to connect face to face, for me to share And I just want to encourage you guys that we love you, we're praying for you, and we can't wait to get back together again face to face.
Yeah, and we do. We love you. We're praying for you, and we continue to do that. And this message that Jill was going to bring, and that she's even brought now, that Jesus is the anchor of our soul, even amidst life change and unmet expectations. Many of us are feeling that right now, and I'm not the only one, and I'm guessing that you aren't either. Here's what I think is remarkable. What's remarkable to me is this is in the season of Lent. Now, in the Christian calendar, the season of Lent is that time where we as the church reflect upon and purge ourselves of selfishness and the ego, where we reflect on the selflessness of Jesus in giving his very life as a substitute for our sins on the cross. That's the season of Lent. And we are in Monday of Holy Week, the week that we celebrate Jesus' journey to the cross. It's fascinating to me that we are living in these times during this season, because I believe in a strange way, God is giving us space to reflect on our humanity, reflect on those things that he's purging from our lives, so that once again, as Jill was talking about, Jesus can be the anchor of our soul. So our prayer for all of us on Bison Hill, all of us in our OBU community spread literally across the globe. Our prayer is in Holy Week, as we await Easter Resurrection Sunday, our prayer is that Jesus would once again be the anchor of our souls. As we lay our lives down to him, that he would pick us up and give us new life. Now, until then, and until I meet you again next week and see you again next week, just know that we are praying for you. We are grateful for you. Keep on keeping on. We will get through this. And if you feel a bit sad, students, faculty, it's okay. Let's just give it over to the Lord and allow him to be the anchor of our souls.